Hey there, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we're going to take a look at the first ever all-wheel drive Sonata. So for 2024, the Sonata did go through a fairly intensive mid-cycle refresh with new styling inside and out, updated technology, as well as the availability of all-wheel drive for the first time ever here on the Sonata. Now, if you want to know everything that did change for the 2024 model year, make sure to check out the dedicated video I have here on the channel, where I go trim by trim, go over exactly what changed versus 2023, as well as go over all the exact pricing information as well. Now, when it comes to the SEL in specific, the only item it did lose versus the 2023 model year was the built-in navigation for the infotainment system. Outside of that, it did gain several aspects over the previous generation, including wireless Android Auto across the board, rear second row USB-C charging, and of course the new updated styling with full LED lighting on the exterior and items such as that. So make sure to check out that video if you guys are curious about more detailed information. But finally, when it comes to pricing, believe it or not, the Sonata SEL in its front wheel drive trim level did get cheaper than that of 2023 by about $425. Now, of course, this one being an all-wheel drive Sonata does add $1,500 to that standard MSRP, which will make it slightly more expensive than the 2023s, but of course, those vehicles did not come with the availability of all-wheel drive, plus the updated technology and everything as far as that goes. So with all that information in mind, let's not waste any more time. Take a look at what this SEL all-wheel drive has to offer for just over $30,000. So the Sonata in front of us is finished in the Portifino Gray exterior with the gray cloth interior. Now this is going to be a carryover color from the pre-facelift version of the Sonata, but there are going to be a handful of new exterior colors available, including transmission blue, which I did feature on the SEL convenience video. Now at the front end of every Sonata for this facelift, you're going to find full LED lighting, including LED projector headlights, LED daytime running lights, as well as LED turn signals in that upper housing. And then the LED side marker lights are going to be found at the corner of the lower of the front bumper. Now this does feature the Horizon LED daytime running lights standard across the board. So with the headlights enabled or the running lights turned on, the entire width of that bar will illuminate. But with the vehicle running in its normal daytime running mode, you can see they are kind of separated at the edges, not illuminated fully across the board. Now, every Sonata will feature kind of updated styling that is a little bit more aggressive than the pre-facelift version, but still looks very, very nice. And I actually think this one looks a little bit more handsome than the previous model years. So you have the silver accents on the sides of the headlamp assembly that does connect at the bottom, that spans across the entire width of the front bumper. Nice gloss black accents in the center with the radar just below the license plate for the adaptive cruise control and some of the other safety systems. And everyone will feature the flat stainless steel Hyundai logo that Hyundai has been slowly rolling out across many of their new or updated models. Now coming around to the side of the Sonata, this is going to be one of the design aspects that's the least change versus the previous model years in this generation. You will find some updates to the wheel designs, the front fenders, but outside of that, it's going to be relatively the same in terms of the door panel design and some of the window trim accents versus the other model years. Now coming to the wheels and tires, these are new across the board and will vary depending on which trim level you choose. These are the standard SEL wheel, which are 17-inch in size, gloss black machine finished, wrapped in 215, 55, 17-inch Michelin Primacy AS all-season tires, which is a very nice high quality. There you have the updated fender design element, just a stainless steel and gloss black accent. If you do opt for the N-line and maybe the hybrid limited trims, this will be your LED turn signal integration that will illuminate when the turn signals are activated that follow the front headlamp assembly as well. So that's a nice aspect there. You will find body color mirror caps with the gloss black accents on the bottom. No puddle lights or cameras on this particular trim level, but they are going to be heated and do have blind spot detection. You have the standard regular proximity entry on both of the front door handles. And here from the side, this looks very, very familiar to the 2023 and prior models with the nice chrome accents around the windows, the gloss black B and C pillars, and the overall side skirt design at the bottom as well. This one does not feature any sort of sunroof, so just the standard paint matched roof panel, but you can get the panoramic power sunroof on the SEL Convenience or higher. And you still do get the nice gloss black shark fin antenna up top as well. Now coming out back, the updated styling continues on in terms of the lighting. So you have LED tail lamps, turn signals, and reverse lights, all in that upper housing right there. It does feature the LED running light that spans the entire width of the vehicle across the trunk lid, which looks very premium and very nice. The rear bumper is completely revised as well with side elements that gives it some additional depth and styling. some silver accents at the bottom that does mimic a little bit of an exhaust tip, but there are no visible exhaust tips on this particular trim level that will be found on the N line. And then you do have the nice diffuser elements, which give it a little bit more of a sporty dynamic vibe. There's the stainless steel Sonata logo and the Hyundai logo behind the plastic trim for the tail lamp assembly. Rear backup camera and trunk release in the upper gloss black spoiler. And then there is the one way to tell from the outside that this is going to be an all-wheel drive Sonata, and that is the H-Track badge found on the passenger side. So overall, like I mentioned in some other videos, I really do enjoy the updates that they made for 2024. But you guys have to let me know down in the comment section below which design you prefer. Now let's go ahead and take a quick look at the window sticker before jumping inside to see exactly how this one is equipped. Now take a look at the window sticker. The Sonata SEL comes very well equipped and is the new entry-level trim level for the Sonata, given that Hyundai did discontinue the standard SE. So on this particular one, you're going to get smart cruise control with lane follow assist as standard, LED headlamps and tail lamps like I mentioned, H-Track all-wheel drive on this particular one because it is the SEL all-wheel drive, heated front seats, heated side mirrors, Blue Link Plus, which is free for the lifetime of the first owner, wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. The list really continues on. This one does have a few additional accessories on it, which brings the total MSRP to $30,680, including destination. Now, one thing I do want to touch on is the MPG figures. Now, I will put it up on the screen with the SEL front-wheel drive and the SEL all-wheel drive are next to each other, but I would assume there is going to be a slight MPG loss for the all-wheel drive system in this vehicle. But do note that Hyundai did prioritize this as a front-wheel drive biased all-wheel drive system. So there may be times where the car detects that you really don't need the rear differential engaged, and it will be primarily driven via the front wheels. So I would expect the MPG figures or the MPG loss to be fairly negligible or fairly small overall. Now take a look on the interior. This one has the gray cloth interior option, but a black is going to be available as well. Starting out here on the door panels, this is going to be mostly unchanged versus the pre-facelift version in terms of design and materials. So up top, you have a soft touch texture material, stainless steel that wraps into the door handle release, and then a light gray padded armrest. Now this is going to be color coordinated to the interior color that you do choose. So the dark gray accents as well as the light gray will change between this one and the black option. Power windows, mirrors, and locks with automatic front two windows. Do have a good amount of lower door storage as well as a bottle holder, and then this one has the standard 6-speaker audio system. Now coming to the driver's seat, this is going to be the standard power driver's seat with two-way power lumbar, and once again the lighter gray cloth insert with the pattern in the center. Does break it up quite a bit. And then coming to the dashboard, you can see it is much changed versus the 2023 model. So here in the interior of the 2024 Sonata, you can see the dashboard is much revised versus the previous model year. Some of the switchgear for the climate controls as well as the center console design. Now in front of the driver, you're going to find a fully digital and partially configurable gauge cluster that is going to be controlled here on the left side of the steering wheel. So on the left and right, you have your speedometer and tachometer respectively with your fuel level and coolant temperature. In the center, you have a 4.2-inch color display that can be configured via the infotainment system and the steering wheel controls. So up top, you have your gear selection, your fuel economy range. If you go ahead and select and change this off of the screen, you have your trip information, MPG. At the very bottom, you have your speed limit on the current road that you're traveling, ambient exterior temperature, as well as your odometer. Cycling through some of the screens, you can see you do have your safety systems, as well as your tire pressure and all-wheel drive system to show where the power is being distributed to and to which wheels and everything like that. So overall, very handy screen, a little bit on the smaller side. If you do get the SEL convenience, you will get the nicer fully digital instrument cluster, which looks a little bit more premium. Now coming back to the steering wheel, this is going to be the standard urethane wrap steering wheel, so no leather wrap on this particular trim that will be found on the SEL convenience or higher. Looks very nice, very similar to that of the all-new Kona and some of the other refreshed models. Silver accents on the bottom. On the left side, you have your standard smart cruise control with lane follow assist. On the right side, audio multimedia controls. And on the back, the paddle shifters for the 8-speed automatic transmission. Automatic headlights and auto high beam assist as standard. No rain sensing wipers on this particular trim level. And then just below that, you have your gear shift, which is relocated from the center console here to the column, like many new Hyundai models. This was first seen in some of the Ioniq electric vehicles and has slowly been rolled out to the new Santa Fe, the new Kona, and of course here in the updated Sonata. To the left of the steering wheel, you have your gauge dimming, traction control off, electronic parking brake, as well as trunk release. Nice textured gray accents here on the dashboard. You note it does not match the door panel, which is a little bit unlike Hyundai in their design. Nice cloth material here on the left side of the digital gauge cluster and soft touch materials across the entire dashboard. Now coming over here to the infotainment system, this is the standard 12.3-inch screen with wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Sirius XM, AM, FM, USB, Bluetooth inputs as well. I have a full video going over this system in detail on a 2024 Kona. Make sure to check that out. And I may create some updated videos here on each specific model, even though they are very, very similar. Now this does support over-the-air multimedia updates, not map updates, as this does not have built-in navigation, but still has most of the same UI features that you would expect in some of their new next generation software. Below that, AC vents, as well as your dedicated shortcut buttons for the infotainment, dedicated volume and tune knobs, and all the typical stuff we see in most of Hyundai's recent products. Below that, we have the all-new HVAC system, which is standard dual-zone automatic climate control with heated front seats, all controlled here on this touchscreen interface. A little bit of a personal preference thing, but I actually like the way Hyundai's implemented this with the temperature inside of the dials and the touchscreen here for the heated seats. But overall, interesting to see. It looks very premium, again, for the $30,000 price tag. Below that, standard USB-C charging and data ports. This one can be switched between charge only and data plus charge. There's a 12-volt outlet. No wireless charging or digital keypad, which would normally be found here in the SEL Convenience or higher. Coming back to the center console, this is your drive mode select. This vehicle does have normal, sport, and my drive, as well as a snow mode for all-wheel drive equipped SELs. So that is one additional drive mode you do get for the SEL all-wheel drive. And you see it does change in the sport mode. It will give you the red accents instead of the blue and yellow. Automatic vehicle hold, and here is your backup camera button, which you can pull up there on the infotainment system. Small amount of storage here in front of the cup holders. And speaking of the cup holders, these are going to be two slightly different sizes. So the front one is very large indeed, can fit most larger bottles, and then this one I would say is a typical kind of medium-sized cup holder. Still a very good size, but as you can see there, they are ever so slightly different. There's your new Hyundai proximity key fob with the H logo, remote start built in, Blue Link as well as here on the key fob. You guys know I don't really love this key fob, so hopefully Hyundai does revise it in short nature, but they have been rolling this out to pretty much every vehicle. The center armrest now extends past the lid itself that does open, which is very nice for resting it here on longer road trips or just for an ergonomic nature. It is going to be soft touch, kind of leatherette wrapped, and there you can see there is a good amount of storage inside. Up top, you do have the lighter gray textured headliner, vanity illumination, manual dimming interior rearview mirror, Blue Link SOS, incandescent overhead lighting, and there is going to be no sunroof available in the standard SEL, as you will have to opt for the SEL Convenience for that. Now take a look at the second row seats of the Sonata. This is going to be one of the aspects that you'll most likely enjoy and buy this vehicle for if you're looking for a good amount of second row legroom. Now in terms of materials here on the door panel, these will all follow through from the front, which is very nice to see. Of course, the cloth seating surfaces will continue on from the front as well with the patterned insert. And then stepping inside, the step in height is going to be very easy, although you will have to duck your head just a little bit for the roof line, which is pretty typical for sedans like this. And there's a look at the front dashboard. Now out back, you won't find AC vents or anything like that, but you will find two USB-C charge ports, one map pocket on the passenger seat only, and you do have the center armrest with two integrated cup holders. Seats do fold down 60-40 split and does have the black accented seat belts. Now in terms of legroom, this is one of the aspects that the Sonata does very, very well in most mid-size sedans in general. I have at least 4 to 5 inches behind my rough driving position, plenty of footroom down below, and headroom is going to be the same way with at least inch and a half of headroom here in the back seat. So overall, this is a very nice place to spend some time. The seating materials are fairly soft for cloth in nature, and really I don't have any major comfort issues, but it would be nice to see rear AC vents at least on the SEL Convenience or higher, but I believe that is only limited to the Hybrid Limited now, which is the very top trim level. One thing that you might not notice upon looking at this vehicle is the fact that the hump here for the center drive shaft is actually going to be much taller here in the second row versus that of a front wheel drive Sonata. So I'll go ahead and try to insert some clips so you guys can illustrate and see the difference in terms of the middle hump in the second row of the Sonata all-wheel drive. So take a look at the trunk and cargo capacity. As you can see, as the trunk nears its top or final opening position, it does have a nice dampening nature, so it slows down. I believe that is a revision that Hyundai made. And in terms of overall cargo capacity, this is something the Sonata does very, very well and is going to be bigger than that of the compact Elantra. I believe it's just over 15 cubic feet of total cargo space. And there you can see there is the pull tabs for the 60/40 split folding seats up there. It does have an integrated light at the very top. This one does have some additional accessories back here, and beneath the floor you will find the temporary spare tire with the integrated roadside toolkit. So good amount of storage overall, and you don't lose anything opting for the all-wheel drive version. Now wrapping up here on the passenger front seat, of course materials will be the same as the driver's side. There's going to be a 6-way manual passenger seat, so it does have manual height adjustment. And there's going to be a look at the front dashboard and some of the new textured elements that you'll find on it. Damp glove box. It does not have an interior LED light. Does have a good amount of space for all of your owner literature and everything like that. You can see there is just a little storage pocket on the side of the center console. So that's going to be a look at the interior of the SEL. Let's go ahead and pop the hood, see what powers this particular vehicle, and then go ahead and wrap up this video. So under the hood of the SEL and SEL Convenience, you're going to find the same 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine that puts out 191 horsepower and 181 pound-feet of torque, either through the front wheels only or all 4 wheels if you do option all-wheel drive here on the standard SEL. Now this is going to be a carryover powertrain from the pre-facelift version in the SEL and SEL Convenience. Hyundai has discontinued the 1.6 liter turbo offering in the SEL Plus, as well as the gas-powered limited trim level, as they've started to consolidate the trim offerings here on the Sonata. So now you only have SEL, SEL Convenience, N-Line, as well as Hybrid Limited, and there is going to be an SEL Hybrid version as well. So that's going to do it here for this video on the 2024 Hyundai Sonata SEL all-wheel drive. If you guys enjoyed it and or found something helpful, make sure to hit that like button below. It greatly helps out the channel, these videos. Subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to check out some other content I have here on the refreshed 2024 Sonata, both from the Chicago Auto Show as well as here at the dealership. Now, as far as my thoughts and opinions on the refreshed and the all-wheel drive system, well, like I mentioned in the SEL Convenience video, I think it's a bummer that Hyundai did not offer the all-wheel drive, at least on the SEL and SEL Convenience trim levels. I think the Convenience adds a lot of nice features and amenities that people would kind of expect in a midsize sedan like this, especially a brand new one, such as the panoramic power sunroof, digital key, wireless charging pad, leather-wrapped steering wheel, etc. And unfortunately, Hyundai limited the all-wheel drive to the standard or the cheapest trim level available for the refresh. So maybe they're trying to test the waters, see what the take rate is on the all-wheel drive before expanding its availability potentially into the SEL Convenience. I don't see any reason why they couldn't do that, given it uses, the same 2.5 liter 4-cylinder in, the same architecture in terms of the transmissions and stuff. But of course, we will likely not see the all-wheel drive go to the hybrid as well as the N-line variants, as those use different transmissions, have different components in terms of the driveline and stuff like that. Awesome to see a cheaper entry-level price point for this particular trim level, because this was one that people would opt for anyway over this standard SE, as that is no longer available. But for about $30,000, just a little bit more for the all-wheel drive system, I think this is a good bang for the buck for a midsize sedan, and of course has, the new updated technology with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, heated front seats as standard, dual zone automatic climate. As always, I appreciate the continued support here on the channel. If you're looking to support us just a little bit further, consider becoming a channel member or using the Amazon affiliate link down in the description below, which is no extra cost to you purchasing on Amazon. But as always, I appreciate you guys just watching these videos, and as always, hope to see you guys in the next one.